Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Kol William La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rahakdash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the Akim and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Awach. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just hitting the record button, see where the Spirit leads. I was just checking out this article on the 988 number. If you're familiar with the 988 number, I think they came out with it around the time of Joe Biden and Kamala's run, COVID-19 period of time. But the 988 number, if you're not familiar with it, it's like 911, but it's for people that delete themselves or, want to harm themselves, if you know what I mean. So they, had to come up with this number. They claim that the number has, slowed up deletions of the youth. I think they said 4,400, supposedly 4,400 lives were saved. I guess they probably just assessing that, maybe, who knows, after talking with the person, talking the asses down from taking, that bottle of pills or putting that pistola to their temple or, jumping off a damn building or whatever the case may be. Because this is a very violent, wicked place, man. And it's older people that, what I'm saying, they delete themselves too. But this is really mainly for the youth, the younger generation. A lot of Edomites is pretty much overall, basically a lot of Edomites, because they don't handle pressure well. They don't handle, you know what I'm saying? Where the fuck is y'all standing there? Y'all might as well cross the street. I will stay y'all asses where you at now. I'm going now. But yeah, there's no future to America, man, like that. They it's unaffordable. They pretty much, this new generation would they're really gonna be that generation of people that's gonna be chipped. They're gonna take that goddamn chip, that microchip, just to survive. And this is their generation as well, because that's pretty much like all they know. They don't really know a time period without the digital shit. So they're just gonna fall in line. You're gonna have some that's gonna resist. I could say you'll have a pretty big resistance, but it's gonna be a lot of them. They just gonna fall in line. You know what I'm saying? Esau is trying to do this military draft shit. They're not gonna be fit for that. They're not fit for it now. They're not gonna be doing nothing like that, man. These motherfuckers they too pampered, too pacified, they can't take stress. First little bad thing happened to their asses, they ready to jump ship. They're unreliable. And 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1, it goes off into, in the last days perilous times shall come, in the way that people will be acting, or the way that people would be pretty much their attitudes and the actions of the people, that they will be boasters, prideful, lovers of their own selves, disobedient to parents, fierce, incontinent, without natural affection, all those things, boasters. And they're not built for anything other than sitting their asses in front of a damn TV or playing a video game, or just bread and circus that goes down here in the Americas, man. And so once that little, anything outside of that, it breaks on them, then they break. So that 988 number, man, they was talking about how, I remember when at first they couldn't even keep up with all the calls. When it was first, kind of instituted, they needed more help. They was hiring people. And it's just like, you dial 911, you need help, you know what I'm saying? I got an emergency situation, whatever. So, as a matter of fact, in this city where I'm at right now, I noticed that on the back of the police cars, and I never noticed that before, because, they'll have 911 on a, as far as the number on the police cruisers or whatever. But now they got the 911 and the 988 number on the cruiser, And then, you have, I know here, they started to, because, you know, a lot of these police officers, you know, they've been gunning down a lot of people with mental health too. So I know here, you know, they've been coming up with these programs, you know, or trying to get up extra money from the state or whatever to pretty much train the police officers, or, you know, just to have someone on deck that can handle a suicidal person or somebody that's just acting erratic. Because I know, you know, yeah, you know, the police officers, man, they don't be playing that. They're not really trained for that though, but they're not playing with nobody that's, you know, got a damn knife or a stick or any damn thing in their hands for that matter, man. They're trained to knock your ass off, you know. Because I know this one guy, he was out raking his yard, but, you know, come to find out, he was mute and he was deaf, but he had a hard rake in his hand. And you know, the police officer, they didn't know. I guess they didn't know anything about him being deaf or mute. He couldn't speak and he couldn't hear. He was just out doing the yard work. And, you know, by him having that rake in his hand, man, you know, they gunned him down. And then I remember the court, when they was going back and forth to court, they was asking him, well, why did you have to shoot him twice? And a police officer explained, that's a part of our training. We can get fired if we don't double tap. And, you know, that's one of Esau's things too. He's into that double tap. He's into making sure that your ass is put down. You know, they even do that with the, you know, with a lot of these Venezuelan boats and shit they've been blowing up. But anyway, just back to the point of the 988 number situation. Yeah, people are bugging the fuck out, man. They crashing out. Things are not going their way, you know. And again, you know, these they just don't have it like that. It's not like the generation that I grew up in. You know, this is a softer generation. They're pampered. They're you know, they got these goddamn helicopter moms. You know, and when shit don't go their way, they tearing up their room, they tearing up the house, they throwing shit. You know, they'll fuck you up, fuck the parents up. You know, like I was watching that video with that one little guy. I don't know what nationality or ethnicity he was, but they said he was 12, but he looked like he was fucking. That nigga was like 300 pounds. He was beating the shit out of his mama. You know, because she was trying to keep his ass from overeating. You know what I'm saying? He you know, just eating, you know. She trying to save his ass from a heart attack in the future or diabetes or whatever. And, you know, they're so addicted to a lot of this food, because a lot of this food is addictive as hell. You know, it's a lot of addictive additives that's in this food, man. So it fucks these kids up too. Then they're not getting out, getting any fresh air. They're not, you know, getting out and actually exercising and moving their muscles. You know, all that goes with, you know, your brain movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like getting out, getting your heart rate up, you know, running, you know, playing, doing shit. They don't be doing none of that shit no more. They sitting around in the house trying to fucking, and a lot of these deletions are a lot of, mostly women. You know? Mostly women. They all online. They looking at all this bullshit. They trying to do all these beauty tips and, you know, just trying to do shit to just, you know, pretty much just be the overall slut bucket. And it don't go well. They call it cyberbullying and shit like that. You know, it's a lot of sextortion going on, they call it. A couple of these Edomites that got caught up, you know, and I know they won recently. And you know, these so-called white people, they just look at it as if it's such a crime. This motherfucker like 17 years old. And, you know, he's sending rod pics, thinking he, you know, sending it to some chick, and it's, you know, some damn scammer. And they trying to extort his ass out of some money. And then they go and jump off a damn roof. You know, so it's a lot going on, man. And, you know, America is just a dangerous place. You know, it's no future for the youth here, man. It just is what it is. It just, like, what are they gonna do? They try and go to school. They thinking they can go to college. All that college shit over with. You come out of college, you got all this damn debt. You see all these TikTok videos and shit where, you know, these mainly women, but men too, wigging the fuck out, crashing out, screaming at the top of their lungs. You know, because they can't afford life. They can't And it's really, you know, it has to do with upbringing as well, because the scriptures talks about training up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, you know, he will not depart from it. And they're not getting that proper training. They're not getting biblical training, because, you know, that's the way us Israelites, we're supposed to train up our children in the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua through the scriptures, the laws, the statutes, and commandments. But then you got a society here where, and that shit backdropping, you know, them curses is drop kicking Esau in the damn neck right now too, because, you know, there's no fathers in the homes of a lot of these so-called white people now. You know, these fatherless homes. And then the ones that do have fathers, you know, you see these dads, they shaking their asses and they doing damn TikToks with their fucking daughters. Like, nigga, you supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, on her ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, you supposed to be really rearing her up, you know, in a proper way where she can be a damn wife. Because a lot of these women, they're out here pretty much overall, you know, they're alone. They can't handle the stress of this life by themselves, man. It's not meant for them to be like that. That's why you got a lot of them wigging out talking about they can't afford their rent. Well, why the fuck are you trying to pay rent by yourself? Where's your damn husband? Where, you don't hear them talking about no husband. You don't hear them talking about no man. You know, I'm a single mother. Okay, well, why the fuck are you a single mother? You know? And again, that's another thing, you know, because the scriptures talks about how, you know, the older women are supposed to teach these younger women how to, you know, be about their husband, be about their family, roughly paraphrasing. And they don't learn that. And so the one little argument they get into, or disagreement, which it shouldn't be that way anyway, because she should just shut the fuck up and be submissive, but they're not in that mindset. They're not being taught that. That's what I'm saying about training up a child on the way it should go. They're not taught to just, hey, look, take care of the home. You all out here worried about where he at. You checking off through his fucking phone. You out here acting like you the fucking man in a relationship, and he's your property, as opposed to you supposed to be his property. You doing all this shit, you know. You want to kick a nigga out about little bullshit, and then, you know, as time goes on, you know, you done fuck things up. Because once a man, you know, kind of get to a point of where he just, like, you know, all that back and forth, it just kills the relationship, you know. And over time, it just kills that shit. You might get back together, but it's not the same as it was before you left. You know, you might get back together. You motherfuckers be back and forth, and these dudes not playing no games now too, man. They fucking women up. They sending women back to the spirit world. They sending kids back to the spirit world. You see this guy shot up all his damn kids down in Louisiana. I done a lesson yesterday on this older Jake ended up, you know, deleting his fucking stepdaughter in front of her mom for smart ass mouth. You know, so these people are losing it, man. They don't have nothing to live for. And that's why we always say, hey, pray without ceasing. Especially when you out here in public, you dealing with these people, man. You don't know what they done went through. You don't know what kind of shit is on their mind, man. You don't know. It's a very dangerous world, man. So not only do you have the 988 hotline for those that are deleting themselves, you need 911 for motherfuckers that's deleting each other. I mean, hey, it just is what it is, man. This is the most dangerous place on the planet. Babylon here, man. Oh, good old Egypt. Spiritually Egypt. Spiritually Sodom. Bunch of soft ass, you know, just too damn soft, bro. So when shit really hits the fans, the dudes is soft, they effeminate as hell, they act like women. You know? Because it's about to be a situation on this planet where these motherfuckers gonna really, scriptures talks about, hey, they're gonna be trying to off themselves. They just want a way out, like, fuck it. That's why these people get high. Why you think these people are getting high? Why you think they, you know, they trying to drink and just they trying to get away from what's really going on, the reality of this place, man. Because this place is done. I mean, just see, it's what it is. This is a really bad place, man. And so that's why, we need our Lord. We need salvation, man. Because Jake really done lost their goddamn minds. Because Jake doing a lot of shit. Jake deleting themselves now. It's not as often as Esau, though. Because Esau, he's just notorious for it. This guy, man, he will. It's been all kinds of stories. And we've been doing lessons on him, you know what I'm saying, for the past, especially since COVID. Because a lot of these people, they had to, a lot of these people, when COVID went down and these people had to really be at home and deal with their family members, a lot of people was getting deleted then. So like I'm at the little plantation trying to see something real quick. Damn, me out here doing some shit. Another back and forth. Fuck it. Anyway, but during that COV19, a lot of people was, a lot of domestic violence was going on. I put it that way, and a lot of people was deleting themselves. But like I said, that's when that 988 number got hot, because people are not used to being around their family like that. They're not used to being around their family members like that, Because you used to going to work for 8 hours a day and just being away. You get home, you spend, them couple of hours doing what you're doing with it. People weren't used to being around their family 24 hours a day. Their kids, when that shit was going down, when they kind of shut down everything, wasn't too much traffic going on in the streets and shit. Certain cities had curfews and all that bullshit. And people was fucking each other up, man. But they came up with that 988 number. And actually Trump, I think when he came in, they had like an extension to that particular number just for the LGBTQ people alone. So it's like you call the number, they had a whole nother extension going to a hotline, and Trump got rid of that shit. He got rid of that particular part when he first came in. I remember that now. But yeah, because a lot of these LGBTQs, they definitely be fucked all up because nobody trying to deal with them. Like this little chick at the job and shit, little Edomite chick, you know what I'm saying? She came back after COVID with a full beard. She in there right now with a full beard on her face, coming into the men's room looking crazy as hell because she can't go into the women's room. And a lot of people don't even know that that's actually a woman. She looking like a straight goddamn dude now. And I can just see that depression, that just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's fucking with her. You just fucking weird, bro. I remember the chick, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that's a lady. But I remember before COVID, I remember her, kind of dressing a little manly and shit. I see her in the cafeteria here and there. And then after everybody came back from that COVID shit, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know. It probably was in the process of the hormone process at the time. And so by the time we got back, though, I noticed it. I was like, oh shit, that's that chick. But that motherfucker had a full fucking beard on her face. Looking crazy as hell, Just, but so this place is through, man, Just continue on, just stay in the course, man. Keep praying, you know what I'm saying, to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And shit, man, we almost out of here. The Lord has done he's shortening the time, man. You can see time speeding up. Things are starting to move a lot faster. So we about out of here, man. Because, like, what future do you think, like, how could this shit play out if America were to last another 250 years? Like, the fuck out of here. Imagine this place in another 50 years. Are you serious? Imagine this place in another 10 years. It's out of control, man. It needs to be burnt to a damn crisp and a reset. But there ain't gonna be no reset. The reset gonna be the children of Israel being over the planet, man. But these Americas, this wicked ass place is about to be torched, and it need to be torched. with the wickedness that goes on here, man. So I'm gonna end out there. Almost at my destination. Pray the lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Yashala on the Bible Ball.